Welcome
to a deep, dark, dank, moist basement. Somewhere in the bowels of Georgia. As you can tell, there's no intro. That doesn't mean that Coach is dead. I have not buried him in my backyard.
Oh, well.
You got to talk into the blue fuzzy thing.
Check two.
There you go.
Check two.
There you go. Look at you being
All right,
so
there
smart.
we go. And we're back.
Well, we didn't make a huge deal out of our 100th episode.
Because I wasn't here.
Yeah, because he was just trucking along doing secret squirrel stuff, so I had to...
Secret squirrel stuff, man. Secret squirrel stuff, man.
Well, in honor of our 100th and actually eclipsing 100, I should say.
Our 105th episode last week.
Yes. We are going to hit you with another top 5.
Or maybe 106, depending on when we release this, because we already got another one in the bag.
We keep them in bags now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They got our little initials on it?
Oh, I don't know, but my shoulder's sore. I can't even open this
Oh,
beer.
God, here we go.
There
it is. We are drinking Brooklyn Brewing Company's East IPA. And for our true fans, you'll know why at the end of this podcast, why we chose that. We're not going to give anything away right yet. But we are going to do, you want to kick it off with the bottom?
Yeah, we're going to do the crappy ones. The worst 5.
Well, I will say this.
From 51 to 105.
Right.
The worst 5.
All right, so we're going to start them off with the 5. I'm going to go first since he's over there giggling like a schoolboy and he can't lift his arm. So now I will preface my bottom 5 are
Jiu-jitsu
not
hurts, man. I'm sorry, but
are not. I don't feel like they're bad episodes due to downloads or anything like that. I just don't.
I think we did get a lot better. You know, we almost continue to get better. Sometimes we take a huge step back, but
Most of the time we are getting better. And I will say this, my bottom 5, and I will preface it with, I just felt like there wasn't enough information out there to make it good. And I'm sure we'll receive some hate on this, kind of like we received some shade on the Black-Eyed Children we both had in the bottom 5 of the first 50. But my first one, number 5, that's right. We're not going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right?
it's a countdown. If you start at 1,
Everybody turns it off.
There's no point in listening to the rest.
My numero 5 is Ryan Singleton.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Give
me 7 detailed reasons why.
I'm not going to give you 7,
Go.
but I will tell you that I just felt like that I, being the astute researcher that I am, I did not feel like I did a good job, and it was a short episode.
I mean, I agree totally. You did not do a good job.
Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
I'm just saying. I'm here to support you. You said you didn't, so I'm agreeing with you.
I mean, it was only 38 minutes long, and probably 7 of that was us talking out our butts. So, and then we have to close it up with our thing. So that's about a 25-minute episode. I just felt like we didn't.
I don't even remember it.
Oh, God.
Who was Ryan Singleton? What
He
did
went
do?
missing from Atlanta. He was a model in
Oh,
Atlanta. He went missing in L.A.
That's not a bad one.
I didn't
Come
say-
on.
Gee, are you listening at all?
The one that had his insides missing.
Yeah, good job. Now we're cooking with peanut Earl.
Well, I can't remember everybody's name. We're 105 episodes into this. His name is
They're online, dumbass.
His name is Ryan Singleton. It's not like his name is Jeff the Talking Mongoose.
Which I don't know if you noticed, but there's another podcast that we both listen to out there. They did a Patreon exclusive, Jeff the Talking Mongoose.
Oh, well, then I definitely didn't see it because I don't do anybody's Patreon.
I know I don't either, and we beg people to join ours.
I wouldn't say, well, okay. I was going to say, I wouldn't say beg, but yeah, okay, maybe. Please
send us $1.
Okay, my number 5 is the Black Panther episode. And I feel that way because I wasn't on it.
Well, you're doing secret squirrel stuff.
I know. I'm just saying I don't like episodes that I'm not on.
I do remember the first or bottom 5. You were mad because Arlo had to.
Yeah, the Melon Heads episode.
Raylan
Yeah,
stepped in.
no, I didn't want. I ain't listening to that mess. I'm not saying Rob did a bad job because he doesn't. He has a great podcast called Cigar Store Idiots, and we're in his Cigar Store Idiot studio, and I appreciate him letting us use it. But if I ain't on it, I don't listen. But I did listen to that one, Black Panthers, because I do like that subject. I was kind of upset that y'all did it. I mean, I would have liked for us to have done it, but
We can read this.
it's whatever, man. No, it's cool. It's your number 4.
So my number 4 is the Robot Grandma.
Worst?
I'm telling you, I picked my worst on strictly on content of
What's wrong
research.
with the content?
There's nothing out there. There's like 2 paragraphs in his book.
What is? Oh my God!
This is why we're friends.
No, wrong. You're wrong. Wrong.
That's fine.
Wrong.
I told you I'm picking mine based on
wrong.
small episodes.
Wrong.
Poor
You're
baby.
wrong.
Poor baby.
You're wrong.
I will say that I started getting smarter about number 75, and I started actually putting pictures in the podcast that actually kind of correlate to what we're talking about. Before that, like 1 through 74 is just our logo.
What? What's 1 through? What's one? What?
1 through 74 in any of the podcast apps just has our logo.
Oh.
After 74, starting with 75, there are actual pictures of the case, something to deal with the case, as the little thumbnail.
Oh wow! Did you figure out how to do that?
I'm pretty smart now. Yeah,
Dang man!
I know it. I know it.
All right, my number 4. I didn't even listen to it, but I know it's not good because it's Corin Rainey. And you know why I know it's not good?
Because you wasn't on it.
Because I ain't on it.
So let me go out on a limb. The follow up's your number 3.
I'm counting them both as the same one.
Okay.
Like I didn't even know there was a follow up.
We did get some. The reason there was a follow up with her is because Cody Ryan helped us out with some newspaper articles. And
I
stuff.
don't even know what this person did or what happened to them.
You might want to listen.
I don't know. Hell no. I'm not listening. I'm not on it. I'm very vain.
Okay, my number 3, August Reiger.
Really?
Yeah, and the only reason I just feel like with it being in another country, I mean, I think we did a good job telling the story and kind of giving our theories. But again, with it being in another country, it's hard for us to find a lot of good information.
I would happen to agree with you on this one. It's not on my list because those are covered up with things I'm not on. But yeah, I would agree. It's hard to find. It wasn't easy to find a lot of information about him. Not that his case isn't important, not that, but.
No, his case is very important. And I think we did a good job of telling his story before he went. But once he got there, that whole thing is shrouded in a lot of red tape from our government and their government. And so I just felt like, we kind of put it out there, but it's not really one of those that you can go, what am I trying to say? Research on your own, I guess.
You got to take our word for it, pretty much.
Pretty much.
All right. My number 3 was actually the last episode we put out, the Antarctica episode, because I was dog shit on that one. I was exhausted, though. I hadn't slept. It sounds like I was drunk, but I wasn't. I was just tired. And I was listening to it once we released it, and I was just like, God, why would anyone listen to this? And it was like, that's all I got. That's it. That's all my contributions. I mean,
he was trying to recreate the Russian sleep experiment.
Dude, I have worldly known, famous sleeping issues.
Is it famous or infamous?
I don't know, but it sucks. And it sucks real bad. God,
He's got Louis Vuitton tattooed underneath his eyes because they're giving him royalties. They're that big.
Dude, it's insane, man. Like,
they ask him at the airport, "Do you want to check those in, or are you going to carry them on?"
I just carry them. They're attached. But it's wild, man, and it's getting worse and worse. Like, I've had sleeping issues for about 10 years, but now I'm going days on days without sleeping, and it sucks. But I slept last night, so
good job.
That's why I'm on the ball today, boy. I was sounding good.
Yeah, we.
All right, what's your number?
And this will piss you off.
2.
This is going to piss you off. My dead girlfriend keeps messaging me. And the reason I put it on there is because it was it was kind of up in the air. Was it a creepypasta? Was it not a creepypasta?
I don't even want to talk about it, man. I'm not even going to listen to your bullshit about it. I don't care. I mean, I don't even know why we even do these lists. I get so angry at you. All right? So we're just going to move on to number 2. And my number 2 is my dead girlfriend keeps messaging me on Facebook. Because it was a creepypasta. We freaking bought into something, researched it, created an episode, and then we're like, oh, it's not true.
But we're going to do it anyway.
Yeah, but we were like, fuck it. We got no other notes on anything else. We might as well do it. So we did. That's my number 2 worst is we actually matched. That's crazy. I'm pretty sure if we don't match on the first one, then I don't know.
We might. I don't know.
You bet.
I'm not betting you shit.
If your number 1 is not my number 1, how did my number 1 not end up on your top 5 or your worst 5? Because this is impossible.
It may be.
Go ahead.
Okay, my number 1 is the Dulce bass.
We're not friends anymore. It doesn't match. We're not friends anymore. We can't. Okay, granted, the Dulce bass was pretty much all over the place.
That was my thing. Probably should have been 2 separate ones. We should have done one on Dulce and one on what's his name?
Phil Schneider.
Yeah.
Okay, so I agree with that. And if it was, if I was on every episode and I didn't have to put the 2 episodes I wasn't on, Dulce probably would have made the list, and that's not a lie. But I don't think it's though.
Just tell me.
Number 1 is Chad Maurer. How can it not be Chad Maurer? We sounded like
we did. And that was technical difficulties. And I will.
There's no amount of volume turning up in your car or on your headphones that would allow you to even hear you, much less me. We know that you screw with my sound, and I'm always quieter than you. Whoa! What'd you just do? That got loud. You jerk. I hope that doesn't.
It's just you, buddy.
Oh, okay. I hope. I almost popped my ears with my own voice. Chad Maurer deserved better.
Chad Maurer does deserve better. We probably will revisit him because we've not really revisited anything, and we've got to revisit some cases that are getting some traction right now. And there's some. We'll go over that later. But anyway, okay. So I will say if I'm allowed to back up and punt, I would put Chad Maurer number 1. And here's the thing.
You're not allowed to do that though. This ain't foosball.
Here's the thing. With Chad Maurer, we were like giddy. Hey, somebody gave us new equipment.
Yeah.
And the board looks very similar to the board we had previously. It's just a lot bigger. Yeah. And got a little bit more knobs.
It turns out those knobs are important.
Yeah, they are. And, we're 2 teachers. We're not sound engineers. So we will probably go back and visit young Chad again. I will have to agree with you there. I dropped the ball, Coach. I didn't even put him on my top 5, bottom 5, whatever.
I don't believe you. This is...
You gonna quit over this finally? It's not payday bars.
Why? You got to be bringing that shit up.
I'm watching his blood pressure as we speak go up.
Just recently got over that.
Through counseling.
Yeah, I went to my therapist and we talked about it. And he's like, well,
how can somebody eat that?
People can have their own opinions, Coach. And I'm
no,
like,
they can't.
No.
Not him. All right, so our top 5.
Let's do the best 5. Now, I based these around the creepiness of the mysteries and the wildness of it. Not necessarily, oh, we did good research or, oh, I was funny or whatever. I just like these cases.
Now, I know
a whole lot.
Your number 1, I'm pretty sure I know what your number 1 is.
No, you don't. I guarantee you don't.
And then
I'm what you're thinking my number 1 is my number 3.
Okay, well one didn't make my top 5.
See if we're right on that.
Okay.
I'm making a prediction.
Okay. All right, so since I started the bottom off, you start the top off.
No.
Okay,
no,
so
I'm
the
just
top
kidding.
is...
I'm just kidding. My number 5 for best is a tie with...
You can't do that shit. If I can't punt, you can't tie.
What?
They did away with ties long ago.
I can do whatever the fuck I please. Okay.
Thank you, Guido.
Guido, that's Teddy KGB. You not ever seen the movie Rounders?
No. Actually, yes, I have. I have seen
Oh,
Rounders.
man,
I forgot about that.
God, I almost got up and left.
I'd have hit you in the back with a Yeti.
It's a long drive for me to storm out and go home, but I will if you
Take your
tell me
toys
you
and
never-
go home.
You never saw Rounders.
Okay, so go.
Anyway, tied for number 5 is Keeslyn Roberts and Caleb Smith, tied with Robot Grandma.
Those shouldn't be a tie. It should just be
Robot Grandma's a
the first one.
fascinating story.
It is a fascinating story. There's 2 paragraphs.
I don't. We're gonna do the man from Torrid, and I have the book he was first mentioned in, and it's a sentence. Okay,
We did do that.
we haven't done the man from Torrid, have we?
We did it as a Patreon.
I don't remember that.
Okay.
Oh, I do remember that because I actually read the book out loud. That's true. Yeah, it's one damn sentence.
And we made a whole podcast on it.
Yeah, we sure did. Now
That's
you're
why it was on Patreon.
You're bitching about one sentence.
I said
mean,
2
2 paragraphs.
All right, my number
No.
5
No,
is The Solder Children. I really, really enjoyed that
you
one.
didn't even let me finish.
Nobody
still-
cares about your punts.
I was talking about, man, I didn't even talk about why I like Keeslyn Roberts and Caleb Smith.
Because it's right down, you can throw a baseball from your house.
Yeah, it's my hometown. Okay, go ahead.
It's like I'm in that head of yours sometimes.
Well, people might have forgotten.
Oh, that's right. He still does have that shirt somewhere. I hate this town.
Somewhere, hell, I've been wearing it like
Out,
out and about.
going to the Family Dollar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dollar General.
Oh, I'm sorry.
By the way.
Y'all ain't that high class.
No, we am not.
You're number 4.
What was yours? Oh, Solder Children was number 5. Okay, shut the fudge up. My number 4, which is hard. It's hard, but it's hard to. It was very hard for me to get the top 4. I went with Aaron Hedges.
What?
Yeah,
Number 4?
Yeah, I sure did.
Damn. They had to be like decimal points.
Yeah, it was tough, man. Aaron Hedges is a fascinating case. I could basically just say these were tied for first, honestly.
Yeah, I could
But
too.
Aaron Hedges was crazy, and I think we did a really good job on it. I think we were on par with the Missing 411, The Hunted, though we didn't rent the helicopter and film all the stuff they did. But
I would like to go out there, boots on the ground.
that would be great. Let's do it.
Okay. Somebody
Yep.
needs to pay for it.
Field trip to the Crazies. If you pay for it, you can come with us.
We'll even bring the beer.
Deal. Hell
All right.
no, we buying local. We'll buy it.
There, yeah.
Yeah,
We ain't shipping that.
but we buying local.
All right, so my number 4 is now I get in trouble every time I say this. The idol, the woman,
Is doll.
Isdall woman.
Is doll. Is she a doll? Is doll.
She wasn't a doll, but I really like that case. And then people are going to be like, well, you dumb bastard. You said you couldn't research stuff in other countries. This one was like world
that's
famous.
world famous,
Yeah.
though. Yeah, that's not August Rieger. He was, he got famous in Oklahoma
And South America.
and South America, but this one was famous because, man, she was a spy. There's no way she wasn't a spy.
Oh, yeah. She's Secret Squirrel. That's where you were at. You were trying to dig her up and see her Secret Squirrel things when you was on your hiatus.
That sounded naughty. You said secret squirrel things. Well, I mean, come on.
Well, I didn't want to say Nat.
All right, my number 3, which you think is my number 1, is the Gary Sudbrink interview.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where we chose our Brooklyn Brewing East IPA.
Is that the one you thought I picked number 1?
Yeah, I did. Which you could have.
I could have, but I'm saying the reason why it's lower. Excuse me, I burped. The reason why it's lower, the reason why it's so low is because I don't think I did a good job.
You did great. I
I
just sat over and went,
I
yeah,
don't think so.
Hey,
I
ask him this, and I was
Yeah.
writing it on paper.
I think I could have been a better interviewer. It was my very first interview.
Nervous as a
was
long-tailed
nervous,
cat in a
man.
room full of rocking chairs.
Yeah, man, he was great though.
He was.
He was awesome, and then he was just like, "No, your theory's dog shit." But he and I mean, not lately, but he would, randomly text me things, and I'd randomly text him things around Christmas. I asked him, I said, "Hey, man, you from New York? Are you a Giants fan? I got a bunch of Giants stuff I could send you as a gift." And he's like, "Nope." Don't watch sports. I was like,
Oh,
damn. But yeah, that's my number 3. If you Gary Sudbrink episode was my number 1 best from the first 50, and it still is, because it's just, to me, one of the most fascinating cases that doesn't involve somebody dying.
I agree with you.
It is crazy. If you haven't heard it,
Flip on back.
It's what, episode 3, and then episode 51 is the interview with Mr. Sudbrink.
So my next 3, like your, could go any order, but I'm going to put number 3 as the Karen Silkwood case.
I didn't think we did a good job on it.
Well, I thought we did a good job, and I really appreciated Chuck Ball helping us out with some of his research.
He definitely did. He definitely helped out, but I don't know.
And the hard thing with that is the 70s.
I don't agree.
There was only newspaper clippings. There's not a whole lot on the interwebs about her, and I feel like she deserves a lot more attention than she gets.
Well, with that, the reason why I wouldn't rate it very highly is because, especially when it's a famous case like that, I will compare our job to the jobs of others, and comparatively on the YouTube videos and stuff, I don't think we did a great job.
Well, and that's your fault. All right, you're number 2.
All right, number 2. I picked this because A, we'd never heard about it before. B, it was insane. And C, we did a crappy job the first time. We did so bad that we had to go back and re-record the whole episode, and we did a so much better job when we did. Number 2 is the Japanese SOS incident.
I like that one, and that one almost made my top 5. But like you could just jumble them all up and like rolling dice and whatever. I really enjoyed that one too.
That case is insane.
It is crazy.
It just, as far as a mystery goes, I don't think you can get more mysterious than that.
Outside of a cryptid.
There are so many unanswered questions. And like we said in the podcast, we're like, you can solve about 80 to 85% of this mystery, but then the last 15%, well, I mean, you can solve it different ways and get about 85% of the answer. And then the last 15% is just like, there's zero explanation for this.
Agreed.
It's an impossibility that this occurred, but it did. Impossible.
But it happened.
You're number 2.
All right, my number 2 is the Phantom Freeway Killer. And that was our first serial killer. And the reason I liked
it is because didn't like that episode.
We had a fan give us the best theory I had ever heard. And she combined some of our theories that we spoke of in the podcast, the episode. But and that was tying it into someone that was either in the business of one of the churches and was a person of color, or had worked at the hospital and was a person of color to fit into those neighborhoods. And that's why I really enjoyed. But I like serial killers, and we don't do them because there's not.
Did you hear that, people?
I like them.
He likes serial killers.
Yeah.
This is the psychopath I have to deal with on a weekly basis.
Chewing my mouth open.
Yep.
All right, you're number 1.
My number 1. Do you hear that?
Yeah, it's a baby or a baby goat. Sounds like a baby goat.
That's got to be a goat. They're killing a goat at the restaurant next door. That's not right. Anyway, my number 1, because, again, I looked at the mystery of the cases themselves, and to me, this one also seems like an impossibility, but it happened. And that's David Glenn Lewis. I don't understand how he made the trip from Dallas to Washington in that amount of time. And how did he get the clothes? How did he none of it makes sense.
You're right.
None of it.
My numero uno
Oh,
is
we done talking about my number 1?
Aaron Hedges.
It's a good one.
Because
I mean, it's a good one.
Again, it's just the mystery of he had been there, and then he takes the wrong turn, and he just keeps walking instead of turning around and going back.
Yeah.
And not only does he keep going, he goes forever. But anyway.
Yeah.
So that is our...
It doesn't make sense. None of it, man. I like it. I like it a lot.
A lot. All right, so that's our top 5, bottom 5 of our 51 to 105. And by the time this comes out, it'll be over.
The only reason why we did 50 to 105 is because I had to include Antarctica because I was dog shit in that one. If you disagree, you can tell me, but you're wrong.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our off-the-cuff episode for our top 5, bottom 5. Hope you stick around for another 50, 100, 200, whatever it takes. We get to 300 episodes, we're getting a cake.
And we'll share it with each and every one of our Patreon.
One piece of icing mailed in the mail.
In an envelope.
Here you go. All right, you got anything else?
I don't.
All right, well, deuces.